Hey everyone, welcome to the first Wednesday night in our Work-Life Balance Wednesday video series. So I want to start off by just giving you a little bit of information about me, and that is that I'm always cold. So yes, it's the middle of summer and I'm rocking a sweatshirt. Never be alarmed that I'm in a sweatshirt. I'm always cold. Second thing is that when I'm really excited about something or really passionate about it, most likely I'm going to talk a million miles an hour and I get really loud. So if you hear me get really loud and I start talking really fast, that just means I'm really passionate about it. And I try to tone it down, but sometimes then I make it feels unnatural. So I try to find a good balance between the two. But yes, I'm so excited that you guys are here. Our very first thing that we're going to talk about for virtual learning is creating that work-life balance when you're teaching from home. And a lot of the tips that I'm going to give tonight are also going to be beneficial if you are starting the year in the classroom with the thoughts that you might be eventually teaching from home. Because the truth is that none of us really have that crystal ball that's going to tell us how this year's going to go. So the very first thing that I want you to think about when you think about distance learning is designating a space where you're going to show up for your students, where you're going to do your work every day. Because when you're at school, you have your classroom, you have that space. Chances are you've taken a lot of time to make that environment kid-friendly. Probably calm, cool colors or something that's your favorite. It kind of has your personal style to it. And I'm gonna tell you, when we went to distance learning the first time here last spring, I was stationed at my dining room table because that was where my internet was best, and our internet was terrible at that point. And so I didn't have like a defined space, which ended up being not productive for me and not productive for my family. My husband would come home, and every night for supper, he would be like, "Get your things out of my way." And so he ended up getting really frustrated with me because I just kept everything right there because it made it easy for me to use the next day. So if you are teaching from home, you need to designate a space for your teaching, because it will make you feel more professional and more put together and more like an actual work environment. When I was sitting at my kitchen table, even when there was someone else here to watch my children, they were still coming to me first because mom was available. She was sitting in the kitchen. So try to find a space that you can call yours. Even if that means clearing out a corner in another room for the time being, you might just have to do it. The next thing is that you don't have to go like above and beyond and put up bulletin boards and things behind you. You do not have to do that when you teach from home. Yeah, you do it at school, but you don't necessarily need to do it at home. What I found worked really, really well, giant sticky notes, like talking the huge ones from Staples. Just bring them in, make your acre charts, stick them behind you, and then they can hide in a closet when you're done with them until you need them again. That just made my space feel a little bit cleaner and a little less chaotic, okay? So that brings me to the second thing that I want to talk about when you are working from home during distance learning. Get organized. My stuff was everywhere. I already told you that, which is not productive for anyone. And so had I known it was going to be longer than 2 weeks, and I would have brought more stuff home with me. I brought my curriculums home, and that was about it. Everything else I had to manufacture from things at home. Well, this year you're a little more prepared for that. I would have those Michael's carts, the metal ones that super teacher friendly. I would use one of those, or like a 3-drawer system, something. I would have something to be able to organize all your things in, so that A, you feel prepared for the next day or for your next video or whatever's going on, and you're not running around trying to find all the things in different areas. Because if your house is like mine, there's not a lot of free space hanging out for all your teaching materials. You're literally moving your classroom to your house. I don't have room for that. So find a system that works for you and get it organized. And not like the day before school starts either. Start thinking about it now, not overly thinking about it, but actually like stepping it out now. Okay, I know for phonics I need these pieces and I need a lot of space. I'm gonna need a pocket chart. Okay, so figure out where you're gonna put your pocket chart in your house and how you're gonna hang it up. Those kind of things. Just start brainstorming those simple little things that you don't have to worry about in the classroom because it's all there and ready for you. At home, those things aren't. So if you make a list of the things that you will need for each subject that you teach, then you can find an organizational system for them before you get overwhelmed by it. You might change it up after a few days or a couple weeks, or you find out that something will work better, but at least you will know that you tried and your brain's not going to be super overwhelmed with it. Hi guys, welcome. My husband's watching now, so I'm a little nervous. And then the third thing that I want to talk to you about distance learning and being prepared at home is to be professional. It was really easy for teachers to roll out of bed, show up in their sweatpants with their headbands on and their hair in a pony, but get up, do your normal routine, be professional about it. I'm not saying don't wear sweats, because I got sweats on right now, not gonna lie. But if you get up, you follow your routine, you'll feel better, you're gonna do better. So be professional when you're teaching from home. And I don't mean that you have to wear a dress, that's not what I mean, but make sure that you're feeling good about yourself when you're creating the videos for your kids. You're still their teacher and they still need to see you as that professional. So are there any questions that you guys have? Thanks, friends who are tuning in and watching, about being finding that balance at home. So first one was finding a designated area. Second one was getting organized. And the third one was being professional. Because when you do those things, you're able to separate being at home and being at school. You don't want the two to run together because it'll feel like you are constantly working. And we'll get to that later, how to set those boundaries. But for this week, I just want you to work on that designated space. The teachers who are not teaching from home, you know you're going back to the classroom. It's your turn now. You have your designated space, but I want you to get organized. I want you to think about the systems. What happens if you do have to teach from home on short notice? Are you organized enough to be able to do that? Do you have your systems in place? So think about from day one, what will this look like if I have to pick it up and take it home with me? I would start thinking about those things now. The other thing is that you have a designated space. It's called school. Leave your stuff there if you don't need to take it home with you. Okay? So many teachers have the hugest teacher bag because they haul it back and forth. And I did that for years. And I would get home and life would get busy and I would get the kids put to bed and I'd be so exhausted I wouldn't even look in that bag. I had hauled home 30 pounds of nonsense for me to not even look at it. Sometimes it didn't even leave the car. It literally rode home with me and then it rolled right on back to school. So unless it's something that you absolutely have to have done for the next day, leave it at school. It will be there tomorrow when you get there. So leave your things in your designated area and get organized just in case distance learning takes place this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed our first night. They're short, they're sweet, they're to the point, and I hope I'm giving you content that you need. If you ever have any questions about any of the things or you want more information about it, drop a comment in. I will be happy to answer them for you. I will see you again next Wednesday, same time, same place, and we are going to be talking about setting boundaries. I had to check my little mind map on the wall there to make sure I gave you the right topic. But yes, we're going to talk about setting boundaries, following week routines, schedules, and then not sweating the small stuff. So the next 4 weeks, 5 if you count tonight, are dedicated to you guys and creating a work-life balance every Wednesday. Thanks for joining.